I finally hit 1,000 subscribers. Yay! Oh my gosh, it took way longer than I would have thought. I started off with something totally different and I have pivoted to so many different things. With my personality, I literally put a finger in every pie. The amount of jobs I've had, the amount of hobbies I've had are literally insane. I kept thinking that I didn't have the right idea or that something was overdone and I was never gonna get anywhere. Oh my gosh, the frustration of trying to make YouTube work is just a headache that I know that a lot of you understand. It's like you're so passionate and you don't want to give up, but then you have some rough days and you do want to give up. You know, I started this channel probably about 2 years ago, and the first year I started, I did slime and potion making. So I'm a very creative person and I love fun and I love to have a good time, and I thought, well, doing these creative things is gonna be sustainable. But once I started doing slime, I started realizing just how saturated that is. Like, everyone is doing slime. And I got a little traction, but it honestly got a little boring after a while. You know, I was competing with huge slime companies that put out just constant videos. And of course you can carve your own niche area, but it just wasn't working. So then I started doing potions, which I really liked, and I did that longer and I had a lot of fun with that. And honestly, some of my potion videos really took off and did well, but again, after a while it started to kind of get boring. I really can't be boxed in. Like, I'm not a person who can be boxed in. If you ask my husband, I am constantly changing my mind. You know, I'm 41 years old, have no idea what I want to do when I grow up. So I realized, like, okay, I keep putting myself in a box. Like, I'm only doing slime, I'm only doing potions, and that was just not working. So I actually took 6 to 8 months off and just kind of gave up for a while. I got busy with life and my other business that actually makes me money. Yeah, I took a break and then I decided to go back at it. I was like, YouTube is my dream. I just would love to show my passions with the world and be monetized for that one day. So I came back to it and I started doing art, because I thought if I start doing some of my kind of unique, weird art, then it's not gonna get boring because I can change into like a bunch of different categories and I don't have to stick with one thing. So I started doing art, like painting butterflies and painting skulls and adding crystals and just making my own like weird creations out of clay and then adding it onto skulls. And resin art, I did resin art for a while. That was really fun. I still do that stuff now, but that has kind of like taken a back seat lately because I've gone back to my original passion from my childhood, which is animals. I just love animals. I've always dreamed of starting an animal rescue. I rescue kittens on the side and reptiles. I grew up with a ton of reptiles. I mean, from the time I was born, my brother just had reptiles all over the house. So whereas most people grew up with a dog or a cat, I grew up with dogs, cats, and just reptiles everywhere. Snakes, never ever afraid of them. I love snakes and lizards. I also grew up in Virginia where there are lizards running around everywhere, so I would just catch them for fun and just always been really drawn to reptiles. So I decided to go back to that passion and start showing reptiles that I have and rescuing some reptiles and invertebrates. I also have some spiders, which is ironic because I do not like spiders. They terrify me. I respect them. I respect all nature, but I've always had a fear of spiders thanks to my stepdad who used to chase me with them. I have gotten a lot of spiders now. I have 5 spiders and it's really helped me with my fear, which has been nice. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. I moved on from doing mostly all art and resin art to animals, and that's what I've been doing a lot of lately. I still pen butterflies and moths and work with dead things because that's fun to me, but I really enjoy working with the animals. They're just so much fun. I've been showing a lot of my lizards and my rescue stories. I have 5 lizards currently and 5 spiders and a bunch of insects because I have to feed them to my reptiles and spiders. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately, and it's been going well. Again, there's tons of competition in the reptile animal world on YouTube, but I do believe there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of egotistical people in the reptile world especially. It's like a lot of times if someone's gonna say that maybe you didn't do something the best way, they're gonna have this total attitude about it, like they're better than you, and I'm so sick of that. Look, I don't think any of us are intentionally trying to hurt animals. I mean, some are, but all of us YouTubers, all of us people out there that really love our pets, we're not intentionally trying to harm them. And there's also a million different ways to do everything. So, you know, I don't agree with the attitude of like, oh, what the hell's wrong with you? You know, you didn't do this right, or you have your animal in the wrong size aquarium or enclosure. It's like, let's do things with love and understanding. So that's kind of my goal, is to share my knowledge. I do tons of research before I say anything. Yeah, I try to be really knowledgeable if I'm gonna say something, and I try to never overly critique someone and give them shit when they're just trying their best. YouTube is wild. It is a wild world. I have studied it for years. Like before I even got serious about trying to have one, I would watch it. You know, my son also is a big YouTube fan, and he's studied it as well, and you know, we go back and forth with like what works, what doesn't. I've really been learning a lot. I used to think, oh, I didn't have the right idea. That was the big thing, right? I didn't have the right thing. Like, I don't have an animal that's exotic enough or catchy enough, or my art's not good enough. But what I've realized is, stop thinking that you are not good enough, that your stuff is not good enough. What it almost always comes down to is your editing. You're editing. Like, people don't have attention spans in today's world, and they're busy. And so they don't want to spend their time watching something that's slow, that has too many pauses. So this is the biggest takeaway that I can give you, is that whatever you're doing on YouTube is great. I'm pretty sure you can do almost anything on YouTube. You need to do it in a way that is interesting, that does not bore the person. Ask yourself, is there a moment where they're gonna scroll away because I paused for too long, or whatever it is, you rambled on for too long like I'm doing right now. No, but seriously, there is so much to YouTube, but just especially if you're doing shorts. Shorts are its own thing. And if you're doing shorts, you really gotta keep it interesting. You gotta have a hook. So the hook needs to be, the first few seconds has gotta like reel someone in and make them be like, whoa, what am I looking at? Or confuse them, or make them so interested they can't look away. And then don't have any like major pauses, because shorts are so quick and people are just scrolling. So make them stop and make them focus on what you are doing and showing, and that's the big thing. You know, thumbnails really matter. Make sure your thumbnail says something that's like interesting, confusing, makes them want to watch, and shows something interesting. And then also your title is huge too, because you want the algorithm to understand what your video is about and also catch everyone's attention. So I am so excited to have hit 1,000 subscribers. However, I'm not even close to the watch hours I need. So I have to work on that. I mostly do shorts, but I'm gonna start doing more long form to try to get my 4,000 watch hours. But I just want to encourage you guys to hang in there, stick with it. I see you. I understand what you're going through. It is a rough road. I mean, sometimes it even controls my mood when I put so much energy into a video and I post it and it does not do well. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing with my life, you know? But it's worth it, guys. Stick with it. I have seen steady growth. I feel like my channel is just now starting to take off more. So don't give up. I see you. Hang in there, and good luck, everyone.